Hi, and welcome to Sparks, a learning place for curious minds. It's about electronics and fixing things. Stand by. Today we're going to do some experiments with the Schmoo, not the one on the right, the multimeter. The Keysight U3606B Multimeter DC power supply. I've created some experiments to show how we can use it like a source measure unit, or Schmoo. The DC power supply has its ports for output located in this section. Sensing is done here as well, or alternatively on a port located on the back side of the unit. These are your basic multimeter input terminals for current and voltage measurement. The display shows either 4.5 or 5.5 digit precision. Sourcing is displayed here, with either voltage or current being the primary display on top. All of the functionality that you would expect from a beyond consumer grade multimeter are accessible here. Voltage, current, AC, DC, ohms, and low ohms. The math functions min, max, and average are accessed here, along with the null function, which allows for relative measurements. Most of the buttons have a shifted function, which is accessed by the blue button. Now we come to the fun stuff, the source side. Pressing the voltage button makes the source constant voltage. Pressing the current button makes the source constant current. The sweep function provides both a ramp and scan programmed function internally. There is also a very nice pulse function. The unit can source voltage ranging from 30 volts down to 100 microvolts. It can also source current from 3 amps down to 10 microamps. Of course, you cannot expect a 30-watt power supply to produce 30 volts and 3 amps. And this is not a 4-quadrant unit, so don't expect to be able to sink current or provide a source of negative volts. Switching between the ranges is easy if you follow the little diagram. And where you are is located in that red boxed area up there. Once you get used to it, it's pretty straightforward. Changing the settings for constant current or constant voltage and for the limits is done by means of these navigation keys. Okay, that's enough of the boring background. Let's move on to the experiment. This is my Schmoo in my lab, and here's what we're going to be working on. It's a little setup to test the output power of an LED. The first step is to connect red and black to the SMU and then bring it down to the LED, which I've got trapped in a little holder here on my bench. The LED is lying on its back on that white piece of paper with its leads sticking straight in the air. The longer lead is positive, so the red wire goes there and the black one on the other. The little gadget that the LED is pointing at is a precision light-sensitive diode, and we'll get to that later. That will be used to measure the light output. Okay, now it's time to set the machine up so that it will source the voltage and current that we need. I've got it preset to 2.8 volts. That'll be the setting for constant voltage, and now we'll get in and set the current limit so that we don't overdrive the LED. Okay, we'll set that to 30 milliamps, which should be about the right level for a little bit of protection. Then we press the out button and sourcing begins along with sensing. Checking on the little LED, there it is, shining brightly. Push the button again and off it goes. Now we hook up the light measurement diode. It's on a coax that double ends in banana plugs. Just plug it into the sensing or measurement side of the Schmoo. Now we're all set up and ready to go. By pressing voltage and the up arrow, I can increase the constant voltage by 100 milliamps each press. When it hits the limit, of course, it stops, and we work our way back down 100 milliamps at a time. The voltage and the brightness of the LED change in unison. Back where we started, and now even lower. And you can see in the picture that the light output is adjusting. Well, that's about all the little Schmoo has time for today. We've got a lot of other things teed up, including having this entire process of testing the LED brightness automated using Microsoft Excel and the Keysight Command Expert software. Give me a big thumbs up and there'll be plenty more. Thanks for the sparks.